CBDCs, digital dollars. What are they, and what are their long-term ramifications? For a balanced perspective, we will hear from advocates, opponents, critics, and moderates on this issue. We will also explore possible solutions, alternatives, and a means of preparing for this new form of currency and exchange. Each solution will play its own unique and specific role.
Central bank digital currency, or CBDC, is top of mind with over 100 central banks around the world engaging in research, pilots, and exploration. But in 2023, we're in a context marked by geopolitical fragility, financial instability, and market distrust in institutions.
Any way they can get into society to exercise their agenda, they will do it. So what the central bank digital currency is all about is surveilling Americans and controlling behavior of Americans.
To central bank digital currencies, which I think are, a grave threat to liberty in this country, for the same reasons that China is adopting central bank digital currencies.
So it's not a new currency. It is a new payment channel. It is a new way to move the currency around. And it's not a cryptocurrency for a couple of reasons. Number one, the whole notion of cryptocurrencies is that they're not issued by anybody. They exist. They can be created or mined or traded or whatever, but there's no central issuing authority that controls the supply. It's a kind of a community-based algorithm. The other difference is that central bank digital currencies, at least as they've been announced so far, they don't use the blockchain. It's still the same old currency in a different form. So a central bank digital dollar is a dollar. A central bank digital yuan in China is a yuan. A central bank digital euro, or Aussie dollar for that matter, is a euro or an Aussie dollar.
Unfortunately, I have to think adversarially with respect to this government. For example, you saw what they did to the truckers. You saw what they did to,
in Canada, yeah.
If you take the observation that, for example, DeSantis has come out against CBDC, what I anticipate is that this is going to become a major political issue, but not in the typical left-right way, more of a federal versus states issue, with more and more states potentially doing something like reopening the gold window. Reopening the gold window, except it's the digital gold window. So we have bitcoin.florida.gov, bitcoin.texas.gov, bitcoin.wyoming.gov, okay, and so on. And what you can do is, it's a simple Bitcoin exchange where you can buy and sell Bitcoin, either as a brokerage or just by placing limit orders. And then these order books, they can use, commercial exchanges, or they can peer with each other. And the state takes a cut of this, and they have restored the interconvertibility into digital gold that essentially reverses what Nixon did in 1971. And why did they do this? Well, DeSantis actually put out some stuff on how he might actually have state chartered banks banking crypto as a response to the Fed trying to shut off banking access to crypto. Right? We actually have a Bitcoin exchange that is now at a government level, right?
I favor separation of church and state, and I favor separation of Bitcoin and state and all other cryptocurrencies and state. So I'm not keen on state governments running exchanges. Those should be in private hands. They should play hands off toward private exchanges and let them do their thing. And so, of course, should the federal government. So, that's what I think we have to rely on to preserve our monetary freedom of choice. We have to be eternally vigilant against encroachment of our rights and our liberties by the federal government and by the state governments. And one of the alternatives is gold. Gold actually has a larger installed base than Bitcoin right now. The monetary type gold, that is just coins and bullion and ETFs in the hands of the public, is like $4.5 trillion. So that's 9 times the value of Bitcoin at the moment. Now, it's not easily spendable as Bitcoin is, but people are digitizing gold and making it transferable online. And so that may become an alternative if the dollar really becomes unstable. So it's important not to let the authorities cut those off to close the exits. So I'm as concerned about that as Balaji is.
Investment diversification is important, and in light of the prospect of CBDCs, private currency diversification may also be important. Gold, Bitcoin, and other solutions will play their own unique individual roles in this new environment. For more information on protecting your purchasing power and privacy, see the links in the video description to the many gold investment companies that we have thoroughly reviewed that provide private purchases as well as gold IRA options. Thank you for watching.